First of all, I want to thank both of you for the terrific partnership that you've established in Iraq. And a lot of us pray to the Holy Spirit, have been praying to the Holy Spirit, that somehow you would be enlightened and make the right decisions there, and that the leaders in Iraq would be enlightened to understand this wonderful opportunity that we have given them, this great sacrifice of our over 4,000 troops lost, 28,000 coming home, half of them are going to be disabled the rest of their lives. And it's been, I know when I talked to Zal Khalilzad, he said they're going to probably have to kill each other a little bit over there to realize that something's going to have to be different here, because they're destroying lives, infrastructure, and it's heartening to see the awakening when I visited, even in August, the Sunnis knowing that we're not occupiers, that they don't like Al Qaeda, that they like our PRTs, and they like being paid too, and then the sons of Iraq now that are coming forward. But I have to say to you, if you look at the enormous costs that we have incurred and will incur, I mean, I got the CBO numbers. They say it could be between trillion and $1.7 trillion if we gradually withdraw over this period of time, and of course all of the health care and the rest of it that's connected with it. I think you all know that Government Accountability Office said that it'll be 12 to 13 billion per year to replace the lost, damaged, and worn equipment for the duration of the war in Iraq. Marine Corps has estimated it'll need 15.6 billion to reset its equipment. The National Guard said that they're going to need $22 billion. In other words, we're really at a point right now where we're really strained and stressed out. In addition to that, we have a national debt that's $9 trillion. This budget's going to be out of balance by another $660 billion. And I hate to agree with Senator Feingold, but I think that if Osama bin Laden is sitting back right now looking at this thing, in effect, we're kind of bankrupting this country. We are doing, we're eating our seed corn. We've got some really big problems today, and we're in a recession, and God only knows how long we're going to be in it. So it seems to me that there's some urgency that we need to pray a little bit harder to get them to understand that we're going to be on our way out. And some of us have talked about this, and what we think we need to have is a surge of diplomacy during this period of time. The witnesses that were in last week said that we should take advantage of this 10-month period between this administration going out and the next one coming in. And if we don't do it in terms of diplomacy, if we don't sit down with the Syrians and the Saudis and the Egyptians and tell them, hey guys, we're on our way out. We have to leave here because of our own financial situation, and we're stressed out to the point where we've got to do this. Now understand this, and it's not in your best interest to see the thing blow up. It's time for you to step in and start taking some action and bringing people together. And I also believe that in terms of this administration, we got lots of problems around the world, but I just finished a book by a kid named Miller about the much too promised land, and talked about where we really made some difference, and that was when we got somebody in our government involved on a full-time basis. Condoleezza Rice should get together with you guys, and she should work day in and day out to let them know, folks, we're on our way out. And I just wonder, do you understand that? That's where we're at? We have somebody sitting across the table here, maybe the next president of the United States. And the American people have had it up to here. And we appreciate the sacrifice that you've made and your families have made. Lives have changed forever. But the truth of the matter is, and I'm sure your guys and women understand it, do you know something? We haven't sacrificed one darn bit in this war. Not one. Never been asked to pay for a dime, except for the people we lost. And I'd like to know, what do you think about the idea of really coming up with a surge during this next 10 months and let them know, it's going to be over here, folks, and you better get at it.
Well, Senator, look, I appreciate the the sense of frustration that you articulate. I share it. I kind of live it every day. The reality is, it is hard in Iraq, and there are no light switches to throw that are going to go dark to light. It's going to be.
But don't you think if we said, folks, we're going to leave? We hear that. But we are going to leave.
Well, first, with respect to the region, we have been sending that message, and that's why my testimony was written the way it was. We do need to see the region, particularly the Arabs, step forward. That's a message that's been sent by the President and the Vice President during their visits to the region over the last couple of months. They do need to understand that they have an interest here, and that staying disengaged is dangerous for Iraq, it's dangerous for the world, and it's dangerous for the Arab world in particular. Now, again, with respect to the frustration you articulate, and these are not decisions we make, these are decisions that you will make, as well as others. If you decide, as I said in my testimony, if we decide that we just don't want to do this anymore, then we certainly owe ourselves a very serious discussion of then what? What are the consequences? Because my experience in the Middle East, which goes back a lot longer than I care to remember, frankly, are that things can get really, really bad indeed. So we've got to have a pretty sober discussion as to what the consequences of alternative courses of action are.
General?
Well, I would echo what the ambassador said, sir. I certainly share the frustration. I've been at this, I think, about as long as anybody in uniform in Iraq. There may be some more out there longer, but not many. And again, it is very easy to dislike where we are, to be frustrated at it, and so forth. But we are where we are, and again, as the ambassador, I think, has very clearly stated, there are very, very real consequences of the different options that we consider. And I think as long as it's very clear that we address those and we go into those with our eyes wide open, then that is the job has been done. There has been pretty extensive diplomatic activity. Even the ambassador and I have participated in this. I've gone to Jordan. He's gone to a number of different Arab countries. We've both been to Bahrain, to Qatar, and others. We may stop on the way back in a country as well. We certainly, anything that generates that kind of supportive activity is welcome on the military side.
I just want to say one thing, and my time is up. I was in Egypt and spent time with their foreign minister. I was in Jordan talking to their prime minister. And they don't have the urgency that they've got to really get involved today. And I think it is because they know that we're going to continue to be there for a while, and they really haven't faced the reality of that we one day are going to leave, and they better get at it.